If you have a Canadian work permit, your spouse may be eligible for an open work permit. Continue watching this video to know if your spouse can receive a work permit. My name is Rita Benkhalti, regulated Canadian immigration consultant at North Horizon Immigration. On January 21st, 2025, the Canadian government made changes to which spouses are eligible for an open work permit. If you are the main candidate, you are the one who has a job offer for Canada. Your spouse may receive a work permit if your job is NOC 0 or NOC 1. NOC Tier 0 means a management occupation, and NOC Tier 1 are occupations that usually require a university degree. Prior to January 21st, 2025, people who had jobs in NOC 2 or 3 could extend an open work permit to their spouses. However, now, people who are in Tier 2 and Tier 3 can only do so if they work in specific sectors. These sectors include natural resources, natural and applied sciences, construction, healthcare, sports, military-related jobs, as well as education. Another very important change since January 21st is that the main applicant's work permit must be valid for 16 months in order for their spouse to also receive a work permit. This means that if you're in your home country and you're applying for a work permit, you can apply also with your spouse at the same time, only if your job offer will be at least 16 months in duration or more. If your job offer is less than 16 months, for example, a 1-year contract, your spouse will not be able to receive an open work permit. And if you already have a Canadian work permit, it must also be valid for at least 16 months for your spouse to request their open work permit. What happens to post-graduation work permit candidates? Post-graduation work permit eligible candidates can apply for a work permit from inside Canada, usually because they just graduated from the college or university where they studied. They usually don't have a job offer, and so they apply for the post-graduation work permit, and their spouse cannot apply for an open work permit. However, if the student who finished studying already has a job offer, the same rules apply as what we discussed before for NOC 0, 1, 2, and 3 for their spouse to also be able to apply for a work permit at the same time. What if the post-graduation work permit applicant already sent the application for the work permit and they're waiting, and then they start working in a new job that would allow their spouse to get a work permit? In that case, they have to wait to receive the post-graduation work permit. If the post-graduation work permit is at least 16 months in duration, then their spouse can apply for an open work permit. You will have to show proof that the job that the post-graduation work permit holder has is NOC 0, NOC 1, or NOC 2 or 3 in the sectors that we have discussed before. There are 2 exemptions to the new rules. One of them is for free trade agreement work permits. If you are requesting a work permit with a free trade agreement, then the rules that we discussed do not apply. Usually, the spouses of work permit holders of NOC 0, 1, 2, and 3 can all receive work permits. Also, the work permit does not have to be 16 months in duration. And the other category that is exempt from these rules is bridging open work permit. Bridging open work permits are work permits for candidates who are waiting for permanent residency. When somebody waits for permanent residency and they already have a work permit for Canada, they can apply for an extension. It's called a bridging open work permit. And of course, if they have a spouse here in Canada, the spouse can also apply for the same extension. If you'd like more information on this, or if you have a work permit and would like your spouse to also have one, please book a consultation with me. It will be our pleasure to help you achieve this dream.